This is the North Shore Republican Club, and 22 years ago, I was actually chairman of this club. And so it means it has a special place in my heart, and so many of these people in this room we've worked with getting a lot of good Republicans elected over the years. But one I want to tell you about 2 years ago, you helped us a lot, but 2 years ago, after Governor Walker and the courageous legislature passed a solved a $3.8 billion budget deficit problem, what did they get rewarded with? A recall. The Democrats did a pointless recall, baseless recall, recalling one of our wonderful state senators who happened to represent this area. Her name is State Senator Alberta Darling. And what's interesting about this area, Sharon, is I live about 2 miles from here. The chairman of the state Democrat Party lives about a mile from here. And he called Alberta Darling the crown jewel. They spent over $8 million lying about her record, distorting it, and despite all the money they spent, they could not defeat her. They lost, and Alberta Darling actually won with a bigger margin than she did in her previous race. So it was because of hardworking volunteers like people at this Victory Center that did the difference. We made phone calls, we knocked on doors, and it really was the difference. And because of that, the Republicans maintained control of the state Senate, and we were able to further Governor Walker's agenda. And throughout the years, a year ago, they wanted to be in business. They raised all their money themselves. And so just like true Republicans, if it wasn't funded, they decided to raise the money themselves. And so I applaud the people in this room again for doing a wonderful job. But that's the past, and we're about the future. And we as Republicans are about the future. And at the end of beginning of this year, we decided to keep open 4 regional offices around Wisconsin. They're fully staffed. And then we opened up 4 more regional offices, including Glendale, back in June. And our goal is to add many more regional offices around the state so our voters can make phone calls, but more importantly, do door knocks and identify conservative Republican voters, because I think that's will make the difference in supporting Governor Walker when he's up for re-election, and all of our wonderful state senators and state reps. But now I'd just like to introduce to you, for purpose of introduction, our wonderful National Committeewoman. She's the dean of our Republican National Committee. She's been on the committee for 24 years, I believe. She really has the heart of a grassroots activist. And I just really appreciate her support of me as chairman, but she just always has a passion for the grassroots. And because of that, we've always been a grassroots-centered party in Wisconsin. She was also a very strong supporter of our own Reince Priebus, who used to be our state chairman, who is now our national chairman. And I just want to say publicly in front of Sharon, Reince is just wonderful. I don't personally believe in cloning, but if we did, I would clone Reince Priebus. He's doing such a wonderful job. Thank him.
I don't need 2 of them to work with. One is enough to keep up with.
I would just like to
I don't want 2.
I would just now like to introduce you, have Mary Buestrin, our wonderful National Committeewoman from Mequon, make an introduction.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here and very happy to have this opportunity to tell you just a little bit about Sharon Day. Her resume is that long. She has been active in grassroots politics in Florida. She resides in Fort Lauderdale for many, many years. She and her husband started a number of businesses. So she's a jobs creator for hundreds of people that were able to work because of Sharon and her husband and their businesses. She got elected National Committeewoman from Florida in 2004 and was a very active committeewoman, to the point where, as you all know as volunteers, when you have a willing, excited, eager volunteer, you are grabbed and you are put to work. And so Sharon has been very busy in her state, and as a result was elected committeewoman. While on the national committee, she worked hard on many different committees for conventions and what have you, and ran for secretary of the Republican National Committee, was elected in I forgot. Well, anyhow, she was elected secretary, served as our national secretary, And then in 2011, she ran for co-chairman, or co-chair of the Republican National Committee the same year that Reince was elected, and was just reelected again this year in 2013. She is in her second term, and she travels constantly. She is on the road. I don't even want to know how many airline points she's got, because she must be upgraded to first class every single trip that she's on. She's a hardworking, fantastic, caring woman who loves the Republican Party and especially the grassroots part of it. So please join me in welcoming Sharon.
And thank you, Mary, and thank you for Brad for the hard work that is done at this level, because I'm still a grassroots girl. I've never lost my love for the knocking on the doors and making the phone calls and working the community and doing what we have to do, because that's the backbone of our party. There's not enough money out there to be raised to do what you do. And so I'm so excited to be here with you, to talk with you, to meet you, to thank you for the hard work that you did, the hard work that everyone did to make sure that Governor Walker was sent back, that Rebecca, your Lieutenant Governor, who I consider a good friend, a great individual, great leader, Rebecca Clayfish, to go forward with it, to again protect those individuals that were elected, that basically, as Brad said, were going to be sent home for doing the right thing. And so when you look at, again, the efforts that have to happen, that's a team effort. And as we watched from afar, and my heart was with Reince as he watched from afar what was going on in his state and with the party and the protection of what he wanted to do for his legislators, and knew that your governor was doing the right thing. As those things happen, again, we were so proud of the effort that everyone did, and despite, again, unbelievable odds against you. Again, with the power brokers and the money that was being raised. So we were honored to be a part of that with you. But we know the program that you're talking about here in Wisconsin, doing your community captains program. If you haven't signed up for it, and probably most of you have, we hope that you will, because that is how you make a difference. It is going door to door. It is making the phone calls. It is reaching out to share our message, because the reality is, in the Republican Party, we have a great message. There's nothing wrong with our message. If you really listen to our message, what is it that we stand for? We stand for more freedom. We stand for liberty. We stand for equal opportunity for all individuals. We stand for school choice. We're the side that stands with the students and the parents for the best education. We're the ones that understand that a child's education shouldn't be based on a zip code or their economic status. That's what we are. So as a party, when we get out there and we have more messengers, and you talk to your friends and in your communities and where you worship and where you work, when you do that, that's how we win. So this program that they're starting right now early, much earlier, if you really think about what we're doing here in opening these regional offices, what we're doing with, again, with Brad, Mary's leadership, with the state party's leadership to do the community captains program. When you look at those things that are happening, you have to say, especially those that have been doing this a while, this is the earliest it's ever been done. Because we understand that it's important. We understand that we have to be in place to make sure that we, again, re-elect Governor Scott, that we re-elect the Lieutenant Governor, that we do these things. And we have a ground game that is ready for, again, 2016. So we look at 2014, we look at 2016. We have a lot of work to do. And you don't get that done in a field office that's open 6 months before an election. You get it done now with the registration, again, with the talking about the message, with what we have to do and what you're going to do. So it's so vitally important what you're doing as grassroots operatives and grassroots individuals. Again, I still put signs out 3 in the morning before election. I shrink wrap my car. I live in Broward County, which is, I call Republican hell. We're outnumbered big time. We are 52% registered Democrat, 27 Republican. It takes 47 out of 67 counties to undo the damage we do, because we're 1.3 million voters. So I understand sometimes what the battle looks like from the ground. I think you understand sometimes if you look at the registration, it's not always maybe in your favor, but what is in our favor is our values, our beliefs, and what we stand for. So when we have an opportunity to get out and talk about those things, that's how you make a difference. If I looked at just registration and didn't spend my time trying to reach out and convert, to encourage people to join my party, if this is what your values are, if this is what you believe in, then join me, join my party, register as a Republican, help us fight the fight we've got to fight. If we didn't do that, or you just looked at the registration and you said, I can't do it, then it's all lost. But it's not, because you're going to make the difference, because you're going to go out there and again, find those voters, knock on those doors, go to where you worship, go to where you work, go in your communities. Again, increase the numbers until every single community has a community captain, till that every single door is knocked on, till every person is phone called, till every person is asked if you share our value, register to become a Republican. I mean, I went to West Virginia and I asked Joe Manchin to become a Republican. You know, he's in a Republican state. Republican leadership, join us, come to the light. You know, and that's sometimes what it takes is, and with all of you here, you have the passion, you know it, you've been doing it a long time. I'm here to tell you on behalf of the Republican National Committee, we're so proud of what is being done in Wisconsin. We're so proud of, again, the efforts that were made and your enthusiasm, your energy to make a difference in not just the state, but our country. And so as you go forward and do it, and our college Republicans, I'm a huge fan of the TARs and our teenage Republicans, college Republicans, thank you for being here, as well as our young Republicans. A lot of work to do, and thank you for stepping up to help and being a part of this as well. But we have a lot of work to do. But the good news is the message, the right message is on our side. And we have a proud story to tell, and your governor has shown what it is, as well as other Republican governors all across this country. Look at the states where we have Republican governors. Look at the states right next door, Michigan. But when you look at some of the things that have gone from previous leadership, not his, inherited previous leadership, Republicans know how to lead. We know how to lead. We know how to make important cuts and important decisions for a community in the state. And that's what you see all across this country. They're doing better economically. They're doing better with jobs. They're doing better with the housing recovery. They're doing better every single task that you can look at what leadership stands for. When you do that, that's how you make a difference. So with that, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for the hard work that you're going to do. Thank you, Brad, for your leadership, Mary, for your leadership, and the staff as well. And again, if you haven't signed up to be a community captain, I'm sure they have sign-up sheets for you. Sign up to be a community captain, and not only that, bring 10 folks with you that want to help make a difference and save this great state and this country for the next generation. So God bless each of you. God bless our proud military men, women, their families, and may God always continue to bless this great United States of America. Godspeed.